let's suppose for a moment that there are two people having religious experiences. One of them is actually communing with a deity, and one is just hallucinating, perhaps even crazy, just talking to themselves. How do you tell which is which? Now let's suppose you're one of those people. How do you tell which one you are? Are you the one hallucinating, or are you having a genuine experience? By what manner and criteria do you distinguish a real religious experience from your imagination running away with you and being taken too seriously? Most religious people would probably argue that it's faith that tells them which is which, but faith doesn't answer anything because faith is belief without proof. What's the difference between faith and make-believe, between believing something without proof and playing pretend? The word faith is tricky because it has multiple definitions. It could be argued that I have faith in my friends, but that kind of faith, or trust, is based on past experience, which is evidence of a sort. And it's about behavior, not existence. This is a very different kind of faith than the sort needed to believe that religion is true and God exists. At its heart, religious faith is belief without proof or evidence, belief that a God exists, and that he, she, it, or they have interacted with us, if only in our own heads. And since this belief comes with no reliable way to verify its truth value, many religious people don't question it, don't subject it to the kind of critical scrutiny with which we'd examine anything else in life. The question here is not about the knowledge you have, but rather about how you're certain it's correct. Can you verify what you believe outside your own head in a way that you can prove to someone else whether they share your beliefs or not? And assuming a God does exist, why does he, she, it, or they want faith, belief without proof, so very badly? If a God doesn't exist, the importance placed on faith by religion makes perfect sense. They frighten you into believing with threats of hell for those who doubt. God doesn't have to be real to get your frightened loyalty. Looked at objectively, religion sounds a lot like a scam. But if a God does exist, if the omniscient, omnipotent, omnibenevolent God of Abraham is real, why would he demand belief without proof, remaining hidden from mankind? How does your believing in him without proof benefit him? What possible use could he have for it? An omnipotent being shouldn't need anything, not even your belief. An omnibenevolent being shouldn't allow people to be cast into eternal torment just for not getting what he wanted from them. And I doubt the benevolence of a God who hides from you when believing in him is the most important thing you could ever do. That God doesn't sound like a nice guy. In fact, we don't even have evidence that your God is benevolent at all. The Bible could be propaganda, completely untrue, and God could actually be a sadistic rat bastard. For all you know, God and the devil could be like rival deities, and Satan just lost an advertising war, a cosmic version of Coke versus Pepsi, McDonald's versus Burger King. And you only have faith to tell you that it's not, and the only certainty faith brings is false. The only knowledge worth trusting is the kind that has a basis outside of our own heads. The importance placed on faith by the religious is one of the most perplexing and vexing aspects of religion, and it's the main reason why I cannot be religious myself. Never mind scripture, some of which I find morally repugnant, it's the requirement that I believe without a good reason, and without objective evidence of a God's existence, that's the ultimate deal breaker for me when it comes to religion. And I'm absolutely perplexed that it isn't a deal breaker for the rest of the world as well, to be perfectly honest. I eagerly invite any theist to make sense of this for me, to explain to me how faith can possibly be had by any thinking person, why it should be considered a good thing, and why any deity should possibly want it as much as the Abrahamic God is alleged to. I mean, what am I missing?